So with that being said, I'll go to the last stage. The drugs that are currently in the pipelines, these are all drugs that are in phase 3. So you'll be hearing about them now till the next year or two. Some of them will be approved, some will not. Flurazan. This binds to the gamma secretase enzyme itself and changes its activity. Okay? So you actually make more A beta 40, which is less poisonous, and less A beta 42. In the phase 2 study I'm going to show you, this is an important point. Most of the people in the phase 2 study were taking Aricept or some other drug already. So the placebo control group that you're going to be looking at is a group that's already improved. Okay? In the reports from the company, there's a reduction of A beta 42 by about 70%, but this was fluid A beta that was coming off the brain. So they're not talking about the A beta that's actually making the plaques. And there was a decrease in the psychiatric events and the time before people saw psychiatric events. Okay? So it did seem to be fairly effective in some cases. And that's where it works. Again, it binds to the gamma secretase complex. In these studies of phase 2, so they're now in phase 3, and in fact they've just completed it, they're looking at, for example, change in cognition. The white line is the control group. Keep in mind that the white line has drugs already available, right? The high dose of Flurazan seemed to help a little bit. Activities of daily living, a little bit of a help. Global function, a little bit of a help. This is what it's going to be like. We're going to be having these drugs that each one's going to increase the function a little bit, okay? Get better and better and better. Probably we will end up, just like with HIV, with drug cocktails, right? Groups of drugs put together that will extend the life and the function of people out. Neurotrophic agents. Neurotrophic agents are just like little nerve hormones, okay? They're made by other cells that help support the nerve health, right? What they're using now is alipridine and cerebrolysin. Before you become a doctor, you have to prove you can pronounce things. Obviously. I actually have to practice that. They mimic the natural neurotrophic factors, and they increase the resistance of the cell against things like A beta. Again, from your knowledge of how Alzheimer's works at a cell level, you know that this isn't going to get to the underlying cause. But it may, again, increase the lifespan of the person. Anti-inflammatories. One of the most promising areas of Alzheimer's research, and it came from retrospective studies. There was nothing we know about the cell biology of Alzheimer's to make us think that inflammation was such a big deal. Ibuprofen, Advil, Motrin, etc. We have retrospective studies indicating that they may be helpful. Now they're in phase 3 clinical trials. Okay? They prevent or delay the onset of Alzheimer's disease, and we know exactly how it works, right? Inhibits prostaglandin synthesis. This is something that we learned by just watching people, not something we learned in a laboratory. Estrogen for females only. It seems to inhibit the onset of risk of Alzheimer's disease. There's actually some reports out there saying it increases certain kinds of risk. So again, this is a little bit, might be a little bit of shaky ground. This works as an antioxidant and anti-inflammatory. Probably works similar to what we're talking about the neurotrophic factors working.